This lesson is polar equation and graph, and this is the second part from last video. Okay, so we're still doing polar equation and graph. Okay, so here I have an equation r equal 1 minus sine theta. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a x, y, t table. So here's my x and here's my y. Now with polar, we don't use x and y, we use r and theta. But we will pretend that theta will be the x, r will be your y. Okay, so again, we will create the x, y, t table. Okay, so let me zoom out so you can see the entire table right here, the entire table. X, y, t table. Okay, now x we'll let it as theta and r will be the y. Okay, so this is your x, this is your y. So we'll pretend that theta is x, r is y. And we just plug it in from starting these values. Okay, always use these values. Again, always use these values. 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. How do I get 20? So 90 times 90 plus 30 will be 120. 90 plus 45, 135, 90, and then to get 150, all you have to do is just take the 180, the 180, subtract 30, that will give me 150. Okay, so again, where did I get the 120, 135, 150? So 90 plus 30, 90 plus 30, will gives me the 120. Okay, 90 plus 45. Okay, 90 plus 45 will gives me 135, and then 90 plus 60 will gives me 150, and so on all the way down. So one more time. 120, where that came from, 90 plus 30. 135 came from 90 plus 45. Where's the 150 come from? 90 plus 60 will give me 150, and so on. So the next few angle will be 180 plus 30, 180 plus 45, 180 plus 60, and all the way down. Again, I don't have the space, so that's why I leave these blanks, but that's what you will do. Okay, so one more time. 90 plus 30, 120. 90 plus 45, 135. 90 plus 60, 150. And continue to do that, all of these blank ones right here. Okay, again, I cannot put all of it in here because it's going to be a long chart. Okay, so put 0 in, start with 0, 0 in. So I put 0 in, sine 0 is just 0. 1 subtract 0 will be 1. Put 30 in using your calculator. Sine 30 gives me 0.5. So 1 subtract 0.5 is 0.5. And so on all the way down. 90, if I put 90 in, that gives me -1. 1 subtract 1 gives me 0. And all the way down to the entire complete chart right here. Okay. Again, these blank ones, again, I left that blank because you can finish this all the way down. Okay, there's going to be a lot of these. Okay, but just basic math, just put the angle in, use your calculator, and then remember it is 1 minus it, so whatever that is. Now how do I graph that? So here's theta. Theta is all the outside one right here where I am circling, theta. Okay, so first point, 0, 1, 0 degree, 1. So let me zoom in here. Here's 0 degrees. 0 degrees right here. Okay, 0 degree. So which is that 1? So here's the point, 0, 1. Okay, 0 degree, 1 is right here. Okay, so this is 0 degree. Where's 1? 1 is right here. So 0, 1. Okay, that's where the degree is, the point is. Next, 30 degree, 0.5. So where's 30 degree? 30 degrees right here. This is 30 degree, where I am pointing at, 30 degree, 0.5, somewhere right here. Okay, and continue all the way on, all the way down. But make sure you complete this chart. Okay, when you do your homework, you complete this chart and then follow on and then it will start here, and then it will continue all the way through, and it will come back here. Okay, so that's how you would do for this equation, and same thing with all of the other equations. Okay, using this table. Okay, always use 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. Okay, where did these come from? Just 90 plus 30, 120. 90 plus 45, 135. 90 plus 60, 135. And continue on. 180 plus 30, 180 plus 45, 180 plus 60. Same thing with 270. 270 plus 30, 270 plus 45, 270 plus 60, and so on. Once you get to 360, then you don't need to redo that again. Okay, just need to do one time, okay, around the circle. Using your calculator, make sure whatever the equation is, here is 1 minus, so make sure 1 minus. And then from there, just follow on. So 0, 1. So 0 degree, 1. So here's 0. 0 is right here. 1 is right here where I am pointing at, right here. Okay, 1, 0, right there. Okay, 0, 1. Next, 30 degree, 0.5. So here is 30 degree. 30 degrees right here. 0.5 right there. Okay, so here's 30 degree. 0.5 is right here where I am circling, right there. So what the graph does is it starts here, and it continue here, and it continue all the way around, and then it go back to 1, 0. Okay, so that's the graph of this polar equation. Make sure you do the XYT chart. Okay, now once we do that, now we have to find the symmetry. Okay, so symmetry, all right, so there are 3 of them. First one is the x-axis, and sometimes it is also called polar axis. So polar axis is the same as x-axis. Okay, so replace theta by negative theta. So go back to the original equation. Our original equation is this right here. This is our original equation. Go back and replace it by negative theta. Okay, negative theta. Well, we know that sine negative theta, here it is. Note, sine negative theta is negative sine positive theta because the negative go outside. So replace it. There's the negative outside. However, I have another negative. So negative negative gives me plus. Okay, now this is our answer. However, our original problem is this. So if you look very carefully, this right here where I am circling, this right here where I'm circling, it is not the same as the original, because the original it was 1 minus sine theta. Here I have 1 plus sine theta. So if the original is not the same as our answer, it is not symmetric to the x-axis. Okay, so now do that again for the y-axis. Okay, but with the y-axis, just a little bit different. You're replacing theta by pi theta. Okay, for y-axis, replace theta by pi theta. Okay, so here's the theta. We replace it by pi minus theta. However, if you remember sine minus, okay, sine minus or sine plus, this is the sum and difference identities of sine and cos. Okay, so this is the sum identity of sine and cos. Because it's minus, we use this identity. So this is your alpha, this is your beta. So sine alpha, sine theta, sine pi, cos theta, cos pi, sine theta. This is your alpha, this is your beta. Replace it by this identity, which is the sum and different identity. Okay, so we know what sine pi is 0. Cos theta, we don't know. Cos pi is -1. Sine theta, we don't know. So 0 times cos is just 0. Negative and negative gives me plus. Okay, but I have another negative. So that 0 disappeared. So negative, positive is negative. And as you can see, 1 minus sine is the same as the original problem. Okay, so same, the answer, if it's the same as the original, then it is symmetric. So in this case, it is symmetric to the y-axis. Now let's see if it's symmetric to the origin. So with the origin, just replace r by negative r, or you can do theta plus pi. Either one will work. We'll just do r replaced by negative r. So here's the original equation. Replace it by negative r, which is negative, but I don't want this negative. So multiply another negative. So negative times negative, positive, -1 plus x. So I mean plus sine x, sine theta. So this right here, again, it is not the same as the original. Okay, so in this case, our graph, it is not symmetric to the x-axis. It is not symmetric to the origin, but it is symmetric to the y-axis. Okay, it is symmetric to the y-axis. And just by looking at our graph, here's our graph. Here's your x, here's your y. So just by looking at this, here's your x, here's your y. So it is symmetric to the y-axis. Okay, just by looking at the graph. Okay, so in this example, the part 2 of polar equation, you have to graph and then find the symmetry. Is it symmetry to the x? Is it symmetry to the y? Or to the origin? Okay, so in our example, it is symmetric to the y. Okay.